11 of the Invictus F1 Performance League. Tonight we're in the Mexican Grand Prix. We're at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, consisting of 17 corners, a 2.67 mile track. Certainly new surface to contend with, as well as we have 14 contenders this evening. But with me as always is Malcolm. Good evening, Malk. How are you?
Hello, Craig. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
All good. All good. All good.
Are you looking forward to tonight's race?
I am indeed. What do you reckon it's going to be tonight?
Well, we certainly had changeable conditions last evening in the No Assist League, so I'm hoping for a dry race and dry quali so that we can have as much excitement on track as possible.
Okay, cool. Before I forget, last night's No Assist stuff. It was a dry quali, but it heavily rained during the race last night. So it's very intense. I reckon it's going to be wet.
Okay, so you're going for a wet race or wet quali or completely wet?
I'm going to go the same as last night. So dry quali. You have a dry start, but then it will go wet at the end.
Okay, well, very interesting choice there for yourself, Mark. A reminder to anyone joining us who might hear myself and Malcolm go quiet tonight for a minute. In recent news of one of our members experiencing a recent bereavement, we will be holding a minute's silence in respect to our member. Certainly our thoughts go out to the family at the moment, and we hope to see him back on track as soon as possible. We will hold a minute's silence as soon as we go to the garage, and certainly we will pay our respects in that regards tonight.
Will do.
So, Mark, your top 3 predictions for quali and the race before we go to track.
Oh, I hate you when you do that. I don't like it when you say that. This is tough, because Narada won last week.
He did.
So, and Delange's come back. So I reckon Narada, sorry, to be winning. Core tactics, and I'm going to go for Nitro for third.
Okay.
Qualifying.
Okay. And the race.
Race. This is tough. I reckon Ryan, core tactics, top 2, and somehow the Delange will sneak it.
Okay.
Top 3. How about you?
Just looking at the allocations, Giuseppe and the Scuderia Ferrari, a very strong car for him tonight. I'm going to have to go for him for the pole and the win tonight.
Okay.
Just looking at elsewhere, I'll go for the Torres for third, and I'll go for Narayan for second. So as we just make our way to the track, certainly once we go into the garage, we will respect the 1 minute silence, and we will rejoin you after that. But if you feel it, drop them as a tweet or a message on our YouTube broadcasting, please do, and certainly we'll interact with any comments that are posted. We hope you enjoyed tonight's race, and thanks for anyone joining us so far, and hope to enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
So as we begin qualifying at the Mexican Grand Prix, it is a dry qualifying. Certainly we are unaware of what the weather will be like in the race. It might be given away by possible messages from our admins or drivers, or by the lap time set in qualifying.
I've just got some information here, Craig. So, clear quali, but in the race, what do you reckon is going to happen?
Changeable conditions?
Correct.
Oh, sweet. Certainly that's going to throw it all up in the air. Yeah, a very fine line to get the balance right between the dry setup and good performance in the wet. Certainly going through sector 2 with the S's will be certainly challenging for the driver to try and maximise straight line speed as well as having strong enough downforce.
They'll have to set this up perfectly because I've been told the rain will hit on the last bit of the race.
So rain coming at the end. I think that'll probably be halfway through. We always seem to get the rain a little bit earlier than predicted, so that could be the second half of the race. And I'm surprised that most drivers are actually going out on the ultra softs if the rain's coming that late. Certainly if it was myself, I would actually have chosen the harder compound, the soft tyre, or at least the super soft. So a lot of drivers going for track position here at the moment, Mark.
Yeah, I think they are, because I don't know about you, but this track's more eatable as well as the China last week.
Yeah, I certainly think the front tyres do experience a lot more deg. So it is a very high deg track as well. I'm estimating that if it's a dry race, it will be a standard 2-stop with ultra soft and a double super soft strategy. But what I find interesting is that the one-stop strategy of super soft, the time estimated for completion is actually similar to ultra soft, super soft. So very close between a one-stop strategy and the two-stop. As we follow Nitro guys coming up along through the S's long straight just before the tight stadium section in sector 3.
Nice. And here we go, coming up to the old stadium now. Coming to the last few corners now.
It's Nitro guys coming through the amphitheatre at the moment, coming round the last few corners, looking to post the first qualifying lap. It's a 1:17.8.
That's a good lap.
It's a good opening lap in the Red Bull. We might see a bit more pace from the Ferraris as Giuseppe's coming round the last corner in the Ferrari, and it goes quicker by 0.05 of a second. So taking provisional pole at the moment as Sir Spud posts a 1:19. Delange also on a 1:17.9, down 1/10 from the provisional pole.
Yeah, Delange 1:17.9. Kilo 1:18.4. Cloudy balloons, well, clouds and rain now, temporary. It's 17.8. There will definitely be rain later on to this afternoon.
Looks a fast. Sorry to interrupt, Mal, but looks a fast going is leaving the pits on the super soft tyre.
Sorry, you said super soft.
Super soft. That's my Scottish slang coming in there.
Oh, classic. I just watched the tourist do his last few corners.
Yeah, it was just
1:18.2.
So certainly an impressive lap in the Williams. Will struggle in understeer slightly through the second sector, but good straight line speed with the Mercedes power unit. As we ride on board with Mike, Mark's actually in the commentary box with me. We are actually on board in the Toro Rosso with Mike as he just comes through the final few corners in the Toro Rosso. And Mike goes
flat.
9th with a 119. So very close between himself and Spud, F2 teammates, of course. We could be seeing a little battle between them both in the Mexican Grand Prix.
Yes, that's what we like to see.
So fast going in the Scuderia Ferrari, coming out in the super softs. He's on his out lap, just coming up to the end of sector 1.
Yeah, Sam's just come back into the pits now.
Okay,
Narayan,
JFM UFC, and Sab's still to leave the pits at the moment and set a time.
So just watching Miles now. See if he can do the perfect first sector here.
So at the moment we have the top 7 drivers within 1 second of each other.
That's good. I'll tell you what, Craig. Now you've seen those times now. What do you reckon the pole time will do? Or do you think Giuseppe will keep it?
I think we'll see Giuseppe leave the pit lane at least, just to cover off any driver who may challenge pole position. But I do think there's a couple of tenths in there still. I think the pole will be 117.5.
117.5.
Yeah. I mean, certainly in the Ferrari, you should be getting low 17s in realistic performance.
You should do.
You should be. But I believe the reason we're seeing quite high times at the moment is that the drivers are actually got a wet weather set up in preparation for the rain and the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely.
So I certainly think the Ferrari of Giuseppe is running high downforce, because I definitely expected them to be quicker than that in the Ferrari in the dry conditions.
Yeah, but it could be they might set up a bit more higher wings just for later on in the wet near the end. But it's very risky for Biscuit on that one.
It is. I don't think he'll sit in his laurels, and as I say that, it doesn't. He's actually coming out the pits. Fast going goes 8th with a 118.5 on the super softs. So he's certainly put himself in the mix in 8th on super soft tyre.
Yeah. I expect Spud and Mike to improve their times.
And let's not discount Saab in the Mercedes as well on the ultra soft tyre. He could actually put a spanner in the works as well for Cloudy Balloons and Nitro sitting second and third. But let's not forget, it's not the biggest advantage to take pole in Mexico. Very much like Spa, you're at a disadvantage because you lose so much from the slipstream due to the long run down to turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the long straights as well, because you're just like a sitting duck, pretty much.
Pretty much. You'd have to get a spectacular start off the line and hope that you've just got enough power to go into turn 1 ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks as if Giuseppe's actually on his hot lap at the moment. As he approaches a tight left-hander, the more tricky sector 2. He'll be looking to just keep wheel spin down to a minimum, hitting every apex, hoping to improve on the 117.8 that he's posted so far. Cloudy Balloons also on his out lap, so he's certainly thinking he can snatch pole.
Yeah.
Yellow flag sector 1.
Just watching Nitro Gas coming up. Oh, Fast Goes retired.
Oh, I think Fast Going's put it in the wall.
He was doing an 18 flat. Would you Nitro? Oh no, it's a 124. Core tactics. He's moved up to third. 17.8.
Very impressive in the Renault driver as Giuseppe goes even quicker and a 117.3. I'm getting a bit excited there, Mark.
Jesus. Sorry, I just lost a bit of drink then. Jesus Christ, that was a good lap.
Very impressive from Co Tactics in the Renault, a 1:17.8. Oh, he's actually dropped down to fourth now as Delange goes second in the fellow Renault at a 1:17.5. So very impressive from both Renault drivers tonight.
Definitely. But Spud and Mike have to improve their times because there are 5 points between them and Delange within the title race. And with one race left to go after this.
And there also could be a stewards inquiry at the end of the race. If Fascone was on the tyre that he set his quickest lap on, he might receive a penalty for that. Miles also retires from the session. Looks as if he's retired on track. He will incur a penalty for that as well. Looks as if to be just at the exit of turn 1. So that could be an obstacle for drivers on a hot lap.
Yeah, true. Oh, cloud of balloons.
Yellow flag, sector 3. Cloudy balloons having an issue coming up to the final corner.
Mike's done a quicker time. A 1:18 flat speed.
Yeah, a lot of drivers actually retiring on track here. They're going to incur a penalty for that. Because the rules do state that you have to return to the pits after qualifying.
Yeah. Just watching Notorious now.
Yeah, Saab's actually parked it on the right hand side of the main straight going into turn 1. So the drivers that failed to set a lap time was JF, MUFC and Miles. I believe Miles actually retired after a mistake.
Yeah. Just watching Notorious. He didn't know what he had in the previous time. 1:18.2. Just watching Mike now. He's slowing right down. So assuming he should go back to the pits. But Kilo
in the Force India, still on a hot lap, currently sitting in 7th with a 1:18 flat. Has he lifted off? He has. So Kilo abandoning the lap as Mike and Toro Rosso enters the pits. Notorious just crosses the line and stays in 10th. So Saab, Sir Spud, JF, MUFC and Miles will have a free tyre choice, and that could give them a mighty advantage going into the race.
Do you expect soft tyre? Is it soft tyre? Yeah.
If there's rain coming at the end of the race, I would anticipate Saab, Spud, GF, MUFC and Miles to go in the soft compound, if not the super soft. I don't think they would gain any advantage from going on the ultra soft at the start. They have to go long. Spud could gamble. He's certainly in the championship hunt. And we'll see if he's going to take a gamble to try and give himself an advantage of his competitors, Delange.
He'll have to improve.
He certainly will, Mark. I think Spud will be praying for rain. I think he's maybe running a high downforce setup, and he'll be praying that rain comes quicker than predicted.
Yeah. While we're waiting for the others to retire.
Yep, we're just waiting for the run down to qualifying. We've got 33 seconds left in the session. Notorious is just coasting around the track at the moment. I think he's the only car on track at the moment. No, Narayan looks to be as well.
It looks, because I think after when they pass the finishing line, that's it. This is going to be intense. It really is going to be intense. Do you expect some incident-free?
I hope that we can get through turn 1 without incident. It will be a big risk to the front runners from anybody missing their braking point or trying the old banzai. I just hope that we get through turn 1 unscathed. So at the moment on pole, Giuseppe, my prediction was right. Yay! For first time this season.
I've lost my bet.
So Giuseppe sets the pole time of a 1:17.3, followed by Delange, Cloudy Balloons, Cod Tactics, Nitro, Narayan, Kilo, Mike, Vascone and Notorious tops the top 10.
That was quick.
So, yes, I tried to squeeze it in. So, very close at the moment in the top 10. It could be an epic race. So most drivers in the top 10 will start on the ultra soft tyre. So hopefully we should see some very close racing.
I'm touching wood, touching everything. Just make sure that get some good action on the racing line and stuff.
Well, I think Spud might play the long game with the season finale in Singapore next week. If you can actually close the gap to Delange this week, I think it's almost damage limitation at the moment. He'll be hoping that Delange maybe gets caught up in an early incident where Spud can take advantage of it. So it will be I expect a very strategic race from Spud this evening. Certainly damage limitation, and I think he'll be hoping to take the championship decider into the final race.
We would love that.
So we're just beginning the formation lap. It seems to be a slow start from second place, the second place Renault. So Giuseppe in the Ferrari gets us underway on the formation lap. Just having a quick check on the tyres. So top 8 drivers are on the ultra soft, fast going on the super soft. Rick's joined us late. I don't think he'll be able to participate in tonight's race. Notorious in the ultra soft in 10, and as expected, Saab, Spud and JF MUFC on the soft, and Miles on the super soft. So a little bit different from Miles, but certainly 11th down are looking to go long in the race.
Yeah, definitely. But this is going to be really good, I think, because if I remember it right, ultra soft tyres last about.
You should safely get to lap 8 or 9, and I think if it was me driving and I was on ultra softs and no rain was coming, I would probably go ultra soft, and then the wet tyre at the end, rather than actually changing the tyre compound, so that I was actually on the quickest tyre compound throughout the race.
Yeah.
So all the cars are actually starting to bunch up as we approach the stadium section. Ryan, I think, got bored there and just decided I want to hurry up and get started and went to the grid. So he's just warming his tyres up a little bit. He didn't want to get backed up. He would be losing tyre temperature and brake temperature. So as they're taking their grid positions at the moment, so they're just waiting for the rest of the pack to form up behind them. They'll be losing tyre temperature and brake temperature at the moment, so as the grid slowly comes round the corner and they begin to move into their grid slots.
So let's have some bonsai moments, please. Right, come on, here we go. Come on.
So as we prepare for the Mexican Grand Prix, round 11 of Invictus F1 Performance League.
4, 5 lights. And it's go! Oh! One can't start the back.
Oh, and the Williams having a little look inside the Ferrari going into turn 1. He's going to try and make the move stick.
3 to net.
Giuseppe's just slightly ahead, but the Williams is certainly not giving up. Williams moves up to second place. Cloudy Balloons moves up to second position. Giuseppe holds off the rest of the pack and maintains the lead. But it looks as if the Renaults are starting to be caught by the rest of the pack as the Williams and the Ferrari are going toe to toe through sector 1, coming into sector 2. The Williams will just be waiting behind, looking to just tuck in and get the slipstream. But Giuseppe opening up a half a second gap at the moment. Delange currently in third with Core Tactics in fourth. It looks as if It looks
Sorry, carry on.
it looks if Narayan's maintained 6th place, so he hasn't lost out on the Haas. Spud has dropped down to 14th. Disaster for Spud, with Miles moving up to 12.
I was just about to say that, Craig, because he had a bit of a front wing damage. He might have had a close collision. So here we go, coming up to past the last corner.
Yeah, Giuseppe got an almighty run off the final corner. He's actually opened up the gap to 0.9 of a second, and behind him it's a 2.2 second gap to Delange.
But Mike, Sam and Pasco have pitted. Sam's pitted for Inters?
That was a major mistake.
Okay.
I'm all for early pit stops, but I think that's just jumping the gun far too much. So he'll have to pit again if he can actually make it round.
It might be a mistake.
It possibly could be, but as the battle for 5th is intensifying, as Saab retires from the race, I don't actually know what's happened there.
Oh, Nitro's dropped down to 8th. Oh, he's lost his car. So,
oh, Nitro's in the wall. It looked as if he was struggling to get off the wall there. Saab's actually left the session, so Core Tactics and Delange, both in the Renaults, are coming under pressure from Narayan, who's actually taken 5th place from Kilo, I believe.
Yeah. Cloud Balloons. He's got fastest lap of 122. Sorry, 120.2. So we're just watching Narayan now.
Well, Narayan on the hunt for Core Tactics in the Renault. DRS should be in effect next lap. So Narayan will just be waiting to get DRS and hopefully get past the Renaults. But Core Tactics will also get DRS from his teammate Delange. Could Narayan complete a double overtake going into turn 1 in lap 4? Oh, and it looked as if the Force India had a bit of a slide coming out of the corner. It looked as if he was beginning to light up the rear tyres.
I didn't say that, sorry. I just saw Bill the Renault and Narayan battling out.
JFM UFC's coming under attack from the Red Bull of Miles. Miles on the quicker tyre, of course.
Come on.
Oh, the Renault has to go defensive.
Narayan's holding on.
Yeah, Narayan wants to get this move done. He wants to start chasing down Delange. Oh, he's right behind the gearbox of Core Tactics.
Need to go on the inside. Two in the bed. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it.
But Narayan's going to have to get this move done quickly, because he's going to come under threat from the Force India of Kilo, who's actually having a look up the inside of turn 1. Narayan and Core Tactics going wheel to wheel through the chicane. Core Tactics ahead slightly. Narayan will get a second bite at DRS. Can he get the move done going into the next corners? Delange is actually opening up the gap. Oh, Kilo having a little look on the outside. Can he get better? Can he get a better exit into the corner and get better traction? And that's allowing the Williams of Notorious to also join in this party.
Come on, you can do it. Come on. Sorry. Get some motivation from the G drivers coming.
But as Renault and Haas drivers continue to battle, Kilo and Notorious will be getting frustrated with the Mercedes power unit in their cars. They know they'll get quicker pace, but they're just being held up by the battling drivers of Core Tactics and Narayan.
Yeah. But we might see a bit of overtake during the long straight.
Well, I'm actually going to jump on board with Kilo, so that we can actually ride on board and witness the battle between Narayan and Core Tactics ahead. Excuse me, as the the gap between himself and Notorious is opened up. Oh, it doesn't look as if Kilo can actually get any closer to Narayan. Could he try a dive bomb? He locks up the wheels. But he's certainly closer to Narayan, and Narayan is actually closer to Core Tactics.
Nitro has pitted. We've just got a comment now from Rick stuff. I think that's Rick. He said, "Hello guys, I got home 1 minute too late. Unlucky Rick, because I think we would have had an epic battle." So.
Oh, Kilo struggling with the dirty air coming from the Haas ahead. Certainly struggling going through the S's. And that'll be actually burning his tyres.
Yeah.
But that's allowing the notorious India Williams to close down Kilo in the Force India. As Narayan gets ever closer to contact, he's going to have to get this move done as soon as possible. He's closer than he ever has been. He's going to have to get a good exit.
Come on.
But it looks as if Core Tactics is also getting a good exit from the final corner as well.
Notorious has gone to the pits.
Yeah, I think Notorious is trying to actually undercut the drivers ahead.
Cloud Balloons has got a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Jesus! Come on!
Miles has also received a 3-second penalty as well from race control. Narayan has a little look on the inside, trying to open up the corner. Can he get the better entry? And can he? Oh, it does. He gets inside, but Core Tactics hasn't given up. The Renault driver's certainly trying to put his nose in. Oh, there's a squeeze. Narayan is actually being pushed wide, but Narayan just gets a better line. He's got the inside for the next corner. Oh, a slight lock in the wheels there. Narayan keeps it ahead. This allowing Kilo to come in behind Core Tactics as well. Spectacular racing from the Haas driver and the Renault driver.
Fair play.
But Kilo's actually having a little look in the outside of Core Tactics as well.
Oh, come on. Rick just said, "Sweet pass." That's what he said. Come on. Let's see if Kilo can overtake course.
Core Tactics could lose 2 positions in 2 laps at the moment, as the power unit and the Force India is just mighty compared to the Renault. DRS in effect, of course. But Core Tactics is not one to give up. He was still trying to battle Kilo going through the chicane. So we could anticipate a battle between Haas of Narayan and Kilo in the Force India. The gap at the front now 3.7 seconds, but Cloudy Balloons does have a 3-second penalty as well. As Narayan is beginning to close down Delange and the other Renault, the gap 1.7.
Do you think Narayan will get into the top 3?
I certainly think the form that he's shown at the moment is a distinct possibility, because he's took 3/10 out of Delange in one sector. So now that he hasn't been held up, I don't think he's losing traction, but I think it shows how much time he was losing being stuck behind Core Tactics and the other Renault.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just outside DRS activation at the moment. But certainly Delange could come under pressure going into sector 2.
Cloud Balloons go to 6 off time. I think Core Tactics will go on the Ultras, I think.
And I think you might see Giuseppe coming in the next lap as well to cover off Cloudy Balloons' move. So it looks as if the drivers are actually starting to spread out. Cloudy Balloons 1.2 seconds behind Sir Spud, who's yet to pit, of course. Sir Spud going long in the race on the soft tyre. But he could come under pressure from Cloudy Balloons quite soon. The gap down to 0.9 of a second now.
Just going to watch it now. I know we're only at 8 laps of the Prix. But what do you think so far?
It's certainly been a sprint to the wet weather. The drivers have just been going all out, looking to maximise their pace and tyres, knowing that the wet weather is pending. It's coming. Certainly Giuseppe has pounced on that. Sorry, Mark, you were about to jump in.
Yeah, sorry. The Ryan's just closing on the laps now.
Yeah,
under a second now.
the gap down to 8 tenths, but Ryan opts for the pit, so he could be going for the undercut of Delange, just choosing not to fight.
No, Notorious. Sorry, Cloudy Blues. We took Spud then. I'm sorry to interrupt there.
No, not at all. Spud might actually tuck in behind the Williams and get the slipstream, just allowing the Williams to pull him along. But it looks as if Spud's get DRS. He's actually having a comeback at Cloudy Balloons, and he will have a second bite of the cherry as well.
Come on, Spud, you can do it. If you're being curious, come on, come on. He should have DRS. Yeah, that's got DRS.
But he's actually in a Williams sandwich at the moment. He's going to come under pressure from Notorious on the quicker tyre just shortly. Kilo down 10th. He has pitted for Ultra Softs, I believe. He's currently 8 tenths of a second behind Core Tactics on the Supers. Giuseppe certainly controlling this race at the moment. He's going long on the ultra soft tyre. I actually expected him to pit by now, but he certainly is clean. He's in clean air. He's not battling anyone, and he'll possibly doing fuel conservation as well as tyre conservation. He has a little slide there coming out of turn 1 into turn 2. Miles moves up to second as Delange pits. Delange goes for a new front wing and the super soft tyres, I believe. Whoa! Cloudy Balloons makes a dive to the inside of the Ryan, I believe that was. Oh, sorry, it was JFM UFC. It looks as if that was an extremely late move.
I did not see that. Hello?
Sorry, I turned off my mic, I was sneezing. I didn't want everybody to hear me sneezing there. I think that was an extremely late move on JFM UFC. It looked as if it was that late, it could have lost the back end. The gap between Kilo and Core Tactics down to half a second now, Malk.
Yes, I was just watching the right now. But Notorious is closing in on Spud. The assist for that. Come on, please. Come on. Come on, let's see some battles going on. But Spud's holding on for fifth. Trying to stop Notorious. I can't say the words.
Oh, three-way battle. Three-way battle between Spud and Ryan and Williams. I certainly got as excited because this could become a 5-way battle because you've got Core Tactics and Kilo approaching from behind as well. Spud goes defensive, holds inside line. The Ryan will have DRS, goes to the middle of the track, but you've also got the Williams coming on, coming into this as well. But it looks as if Kilo makes a move on the Renault. Spud trying to fight as best as he can. Helicopter cam is fast going. Receives a 3-second penalty from race control. The Ryan puts his car in the middle of the track, goes defensive. Spud loses out to the Williams, going round the outside, and the Ryan is leading the pack from the Williams of Notorious in 6th position. But Kilo and Core Tactics is approaching as well. I think Kilo got the move done in DRS, so in going into turn 1.
Got the helicopter view now.
So Spud's going to come under attack from Kilo in the Force India and the Renault of Core Tactics just shortly.
Yeah.
So it's all change at the moment coming through the middle of the race. Kilo had a little look inside. I think that was actually going defensive from the Renault, but missed a braking point and blocked up his brakes. But that's allowing Core Tactics to come even closer and has a little dive up the inside, but thinks better of it. He's going to wait for DRS. So Spud could actually lose 2 positions in DRS zone 1. As Kilo and Core Tactics will have DRS. So Spud's going to have to go rich fuel and defend for his life. Lock up again from Kilo, but it looks as if Core Tactics mixed his braking point and went deep into turn 1. Core Tactics now receives a 3-second penalty.
Here we go. Spud's doing really well to hold on to 6 there, but Notorious is closing in his JFM.
Yeah, he's certainly putting JFM UFC under pressure here. But Notorious is struggling with the front end. Oh, it gets better traction off the corner, and just leaves the Haskar standing. It's Spud and Kilo going wheel to wheel through the S's, and COD Tactics gets a move done as well. But the other Renault of the Lange is closing up on Spud. Oh, there's that much. Spud misses his braking point and actually goes into the back of COD Tactics and receives front wing damage. That'll allow the Lange just to come in and go by him, because he will have the better front downforce. So I'm expecting Spud to come in for a front wing change.
Yeah.
Oh, Kilo all over the back of GFM UFC. GFM UFC tucks in behind Kilo, goes for the slipstream, hoping to get dragged along into turn 1. Will we see a banzai? Oh, Kilo's locking up again. That's a few times Kilo's locked up into turn 1.
But they're coming up to Notorious now.
Mark, there's been that much action, it's actually hard to keep up with what's going on.
I'm losing my voice here afterwards. But it's just intense.
But an interesting development just behind the battle in the midfield is a battle between the Lange and Miles.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. COD Tactics. Took chairman on the assist. Oh my God, he's got a red sandwich here. Oh my God, the Lange. Oh no! Jesus Christ!
Oh, the Lange throws it up the inside. He's caught GFM UFC sleeping. There's a slight bang of the wheels. GFM UFC controls the corner, pushes the Lange wide. Miles is coming into the action as well.
Oh my God! Oh, fair play! Oh, fair play! Oh my God!
A very opportunistic move from Miles there actually on JFM UFC. Miles actually having a look inside the Lange. Excuse me. It was actually a cough. I'm losing my voice.
Sorry. But Miles just... Come on.
Oh, Miles throws it up the inside. Can he make it stick? He just needs to hold on. Oh, the Lange has a little slide. That allows the Haas of GFM UFC to get even closer.
We're sorry for any technical difficulties here.
There is that much going on. We're actually struggling to keep up with what is actually happening on track.
Yeah.
Miles runs wide. That's allowing the Lange to actually come up behind him. Well, we see the banzai move, but I think the Lange is a bit more shrewder than that, and he will wait for DRS. I think the Lange has actually got front wing damage. He's struggling for front end grip.
He's got front left damage.
But he has no choice to actually go for it. So this is Spud's best chance to actually make that work for himself.
And Mike as well.
Cloudy Balloons, I believe, goes for his second pit stop at the moment, down in 9th.
Oh my God. This is an intense moment.
Well, COD Tactics is trying to close down Notorious for 4th. They got 1.1 seconds. It's just a quick good evening as we've got a lull in the battle to Sargent and Sheepy. Sargent says, good luck all. They're on to turn 1, should be interesting. And Sheepy, exciting stuff, loads of action. Yeah, definitely. Certainly our voices are struggling to keep up with what's going on. We're actually grateful that we're having a little momentary pause during the race.
Just a bit. The Lange is closing in on Miles now. Under a second now.
Yeah, that is impressive with front end damage. So although he's got a loss of front end grip, he's certainly doing well to close down the Red Bull and Miles ahead.
Miles has got damage as well.
Oh, has he? Oh, so that's going to equalise this battle then. So we could see a little ding dong going into turn 1, or at the end of DRS zone 2.
Could be not.
So Giuseppe still controlling this race from the front. A 13.7 second gap now in the Rhine, with Kilo sitting in third with a 6.2 as Miles receives a 3-second penalty.
Oh, he got wide there. But
yeah, he's certainly struggling for front end grip. The gap's increased a tenth now between the Rhine. Certainly the Rhine is disadvantaged being in the Haas compared to the Scuderia Ferrari of Giuseppe.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I've got this beautiful helicopter view. With Delange, Miles then. Looks like Delange is cruising well.
Yeah, it looks as if Delange is actually controlling the lossy grip a little bit more successfully than Miles. And that's allowing Delange to close him down.
Yeah, but we might have another battle going on. Because core tactics calling out to Notorious. But we're just watching this battle with Miles and Delange now.
Notorious went really wide coming out the final corner, whereas core tactics had a bit of a tighter line. Core tactics does have DRS, but he certainly won't catch him going into turn 1. He could get another opportunity coming into the secondary last one.
Oh!
No, Miles is certainly not giving up. Guys are going wheel to wheel. Delange does cut the corner. He will have to concede that. He does receive another 3-second penalty, of course. But Cloudy Balloons is right behind this as well in the Williams. He won't want to be held up by two drivers with front end damage. Oh, Cloudy just remains patient. Oh, and the ultra soft, he throws up the inside. Delange leaves room. But Delange certainly still held the corner and held control, but Cloudy Balloons will be getting ever frustrated on the ultra soft tyre.
Yeah, just watching from the S's now. But Cloudy Balloons closing in on Delange now. So, that was close then. But we might have seen. Oh, what's I? And he's made the move. What a move from Cloudy Balloons. And he's closing right in on Miles now. And he should have the DRS now.
Oh, Core Tactics is right behind Notorious's gearbox on the homes at the main straight. He has DRS, he's got the inside of the corner, he can control turn 1 with Kilo slightly ahead as well. Oh, he gets the move done. Core Tactics moves up to 4th place.
Still Cloudy Balloons is closing in on Miles now. But Delange is holding on to try and cast these guys up. Considering they've got damage as well.
Oh! Cloudy Balloons tries to move out the outside, goes for the undercut. Miles just covers him off. He's got the inside of the next corner. There's a fair amount of wheel buying going on as Cloudy Balloons tries to take 6th from Miles.
Oh my god! No!
Oh, that was inevitable. Two drivers fighting wheel to wheel. It was inevitable that there was going to be contact and somebody was going to lose out. But I think we're seeing the first spots of the rain, Mark. Yep, we're seeing spots of rain.
I was so to say to you when we could see the rain, and so
yeah, we're just over half distance. We're seeing the first spots of rain. Certainly, the track temperature will be high enough that we won't require the intermediate tyres for another good few laps yet.
Yeah, I can see proper rain at the old stadium now. But question for you, Craig. Now the rain kicking off now. When do you think it will properly into time?
I usually go with indication once DRS is deactivated. However many laps that might be is anybody's question. It looks as if the rain's quite light, so not heavy enough to affect the track with the track temperature. But it does look as if JFM UFC sliding a little bit going through the chicane. I will go lap 26.
Lap 26. Okay. But Cloud Balloons has gone the Invictus already.
Oh, that's a big risk.
That is a massive risk.
The only thing I can think is they've had the rain earlier than what we have seen it, or that they're really struggling for tyre temperatures. We will see. I think the indication will be if anybody else comes in for inters. Giuseppe remains on track with a almost 15-second gap to Narayan. Narayan on the super softs, Kilo in third and ultra softs, Cod Tactics in fourth. It looks as if they are kicking up a little bit of spray, so certainly the track is getting wetter. We might actually not even get to lap 26 here.
Probably lap 22.
Oh, JFM UFC's actually pitting as well. So he is on the soft tyre. I'm going to try and catch what tyre he's going on to. It does look like the inters. It is the inters, so yeah, I'm wondering if they've actually seen the rain longer than what we have.
Possibly. Because there's so much action going on.
Oh, Giuseppe has a little slide at the back end, so we could see him coming into the pit, coming off the super softs. No, Giuseppe's actually staying out. But as I say, my indication is usually when the DRS gets deactivated. I mean, you might try and chance your luck and just hit it right a lap before, so that you've got a bigger undercut.
Just a bit.
But I think Cloudy Balloons and JFM UFC had nothing to lose, so why not try and go on it earlier? Or it could be that they've also got a higher tyre deg. Tyres are starting to go off. I believe Notorious is actually pitting now.
He's pitting.
So rather than pitting for another set of fresh slicks, why not go on inters? DRS is still active, so we're not quite ready for the crossover yet.
No.
Looks as if Notorious has went on the super softs, which is surprising considering we're having wet weather. Cod Tactics stays out. He's actually 1 second now behind Kilo. So he's done well to actually catch Kilo on the ultra soft tyre for the final podium position.
Definitely. But I was going to say earlier, don't write off Narayan, because in the end bits he always was like fast paced.
Yeah, and he's certainly mighty in the rain. He is a rain master. So we could still see a change at the top, but I think Giuseppe has got a strong enough command over the race, and he just needs to maintain the gap. He doesn't need to drive 100% or even 80%. He just needs to drive quick enough to maintain a comfortable gap over Narayan.
Yeah, the track looks a bit wet now.
Yeah, but Cod Tactics is actually closed right up in Kilo. Oh, we see any? Oh, both drivers.
No.
Yeah, both drivers staying out. I thought Cod Tactics was going to take a late dive into the pits there, but he wants to get this move done and take third. Oh, Kilo goes defensive on the inside. I think he's got enough pace to hold off the Renault going into turn one.
I don't know.
Oh no! Cod Tactics goes deep, but he maintains that lead over Kilo, as Delange is just behind in the fellow Renault.
Nitro's pitted in now.
Narayan's also pitted as well. That moves Cod Tactics up to third. So Narayan is on the inters now, 3.4 seconds behind Delange, who has yet to pit. I don't imagine he'll be taking these super softs to the end.
I'll be very surprised, to be fair. But we have to wait and see how this goes. So just watching Keeler closing in on Cod Tactics now. So at the moment, Giuseppe's doing really well to hold on first. But Keeler,
yeah, Keeler's certainly fighting back. He wants that second place. Cod Tactics goes defensive, just covers off the line. Both
they need to pit.
Yeah, they're certainly struggling on the dry tyre, and that's allowing Narayan to actually come into play behind as well. Oh, Kilo
Both
has
drivers?
a little bit of a moment, nearly puts it in the wall.
Oh, 2 runners.
Yeah, so the Renaults are going to be double stacking as Narayan will move up to second place. And it looks as if Giuseppe's still not pitted. So the gap, 39.6 seconds. But if conditions warrant the wet weather tyre, he'll be losing a chunk of time to Narayan. He's certainly struggling through Sector 2. And Narayan's got it down to 39.2, so on 39 flat now, so that's 8 tenths in that short space of a lap. I think Giuseppe's still got a healthy enough advantage to come out ahead.
Yeah, should have.
But Narayan is a very attacking driver and he is very consistent and competent in the wet. Certainly I wouldn't want him breathing down my neck in wet weather conditions.
He's going to the pits now. He's the last one on the pit.
So as you ride on board with Narayan, just going through the final S's, Cloudy Balloons receives another 3-second penalty. Giuseppe's just exiting the pits as Narayan's actually coming through the stadium section.
Just watching JFM closely on Spud.
Yeah, Spud could lose that final point position in the championship.
He doesn't want to lose that.
GFM looks to be more comfortable in the wet weather conditions compared to Spud. GFM certainly closed them down rapidly, but it all comes down to how both cars are going to handle in the S section.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, this is intense now. Oh!
Yeah, it looks as if the Haas is actually more competent through the S section. He's certainly getting a tighter line through the apexes. He just allows Spud to give him a little bit of space. GFM might try a little dive in the tight left-hander. He's thought better of it. He's just going to wait for the straight. Kilo moves within 1.3 seconds of tactics. Oh, GFM makes contact with a wall. I think he's damaged front left wing. That'll allow Spud to open up the gap. And DRS is still in activation.
That's surprising.
I'm very surprised at that, considering all drivers are on intermediate tyres.
That's a bit weird on that one, but we'll carry on the racing. The only one that's close at the minute is Kilo.
Oh, Kilo has a power slide and well controlled as well.
Yeah, it's in the drift. Fair play to him. He's catching up to core tactics here. And he's doing a marvellous drive. Will he get a better exit here?
Oh, he's losing the front end as soon as he's putting the power down. Spud receives a 3-second penalty.
That's not good.
Certainly not when he's got a 2.2 second gap to JFM UFC behind. The gap now 1.8.
1.6. What's going on? I'm not sure what's happened there.
Gap between Giuseppe and Narayan is 20 seconds, with core tactics behind is 16.6. So the closest battle at the moment is core tactics and Kilo. The gap down to 1 second. Delange slightly behind, 4.7 seconds, with Mike 13.9. Miles certainly impressive, coming up from last position to 7th.
Oh, Kilo! It's lost his car. Nearly. Just watching while Craig is sorting out himself on that. Kilo's just closing in.
Yeah, Kilo's certainly struggling with the car coming through the S section. I think he's finding... Whoa, another big power slide. He's certainly finding it difficult to get the power down. And that's certainly compromising his time from the Renault ahead, but also the Renault behind. So really struggling with the back end of the Force India. And DRS is disabled on lap 26.
I tell you what, Craig, stop predicting like that.
Gap between Notorious and Nitro is 1.7 seconds, so it could be advantage Red Bull in the more difficult conditions. The Williams can be a bit of a handful with understeer, and it's certainly not easy in the wet, but Nitro seems to master that Red Bull when it matters.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more common now than
yeah, certainly the wet conditions
races.
has opened up the gap between each driver, so that's allowed us as commentators to catch our breath, which we appreciate, and a drink.
And a cup of tea. And a cup of tea, that's it.
So the gap maintained at 1.7 between Notorious and Nitro, but Notorious is beginning to catch miles ahead. The gap was 1.9, but certainly the more downforce demanding part of the circuit will be tricky for the Williams driver.
Because the Red Bull car has got a better aero, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got the better chassis, so it can cope with the more difficult conditions, but also the more downforce dependent corners. Nitro down to 1.5 second gap, Notorious 1.7 from Miles.
Might see a couple of corners battle coming up. So we'll see how Nitro's dropping a little bit down now. The only one that's closest at the minute is Notorious and Miles. I'm sorry, JFM and Spud.
I'm wondering with the rain getting a bit heavier, whether we might see a crossover onto the full wet tyre.
Possibly. I think that could be a possibility, but if you was driving that in this, Craig, what would you do? Would you gamble?
Well, I'll tell you who is gambling at the moment. It's JFM UFC. He is coming into the pits. He will receive a front wing change. He is going the full wets. So first driver to gamble, JFM UFC. So yeah, I think we might see a crossover for the final 8 laps of the race. And we are seeing a lot of standing water on the dirty end of the track. So we are seeing a lot of puddles forming, which I don't think the intermediate tyres will be able to shift that amount of water. But what we will keep an eye on is the gap between Fast Going and JFM UFC, who's went for the full wets.
Oh, Notorious. Oh, God. Holding on for the S's there.
So Narayan's actually got the gap down to 18.8 seconds, which has actually went up now to 19. Core Tactics 20.7 behind with Kilo 4.3, but also Delange is chasing hard in 2.4 second gap from Kilo, so certainly Delange in the Renault is chasing Kilo with all he's got. Claudia Blins has also opted for the full wet tyre. Yeah, I think it is time for the crossover. Looking at the spray from the cars coming down the home straight, it is worsening.
Miles and Notorious are pitting now. Delange, it's close. It's close to the Kilo.
Miles also pitting for the wets, as is Notorious. I think the big question is who's going to gamble and stay on intermediates. You could, but it could go against you. Actually,
I reckon Core. If Giuseppe's pitted, but if Giuseppe and Narayan pit, and Core Tactics stay out.
Well, I'm going to just stick with. I'm sticking with Narayan at the moment. Is he going to gamble and stick with it? No, I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to stick with it and go with the intermediates, but he has elected to pit, so that will be for full wets. Core Tactics just coming through the stadium section. He seems to have a slight bit of understeer, but he has managed it fairly successful. So will he play it safe? He is playing it safe and going for the full wets, as is Kilo, Delange as well. So Renault's double stacking again. Mike just coming through the final few corners. I imagine he'll be pitting for full wets as well. So that rain definitely came hard very quickly. Oh, Mike! He's gambling, he's staying on the inters.
Oh my god! Don't do this to us!
Brave man. He's moving up to fourth, but the God Tactics is coming out the pits.
Oh my god, fair play.
So Mike got the jump in God Tactics as well as Kilo and Delange. But the big question is, can he keep it on the track on the intermediate tyres?
I don't know.
I don't think he has. It looks as if the wet weather tyres getting a better traction off the slower corners.
No, I thought Core Tactics just got in there.
Oh, Mike had a little bit of a slide. Yeah, God Tactics going aggressive. Miles has left the session.
So we've got yellow flags on sector turn. Where, I don't know. It could be Miles later. I don't know. DNF. Fair play to Mike. But
yeah, and Sheepy's just echoing that. Mike taking a chance. I think we might see Mike going for the wet tyres this lap now. I don't think that gamble's completely paid off because Kilo's chasing him quickly from behind, and he could lose out to Delange and the Torres as well.
God. Kilo just went wide then. And in doing so, it's caught up to Mike now. But Mike's...
Mike's thought better of it. He's tried something different, and fair play to him for that, but I don't think the conditions are going to allow him.
No.
He was just losing far too much time, and he's opted for the safer option to go for the full wets.
Fair play to him.
So Delange has actually got the gap down to 2 seconds now from Kilo. We could see the other Renault of Delange moving up to 4th, which would be a disaster for Spud down in 10th.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Delange's going to make a move to the inside. Oh, Kilo just covers him off. He will have control of the next corner. Kilo just needs to keep it tight.
Just my watch Nitro catching up to Mike. Just, I don't know if you want to watch the Delange one or watch the Nitro. It's up to you, Mike.
I'm going to stick with Delange. I'll stick with Delange and Kilo. Delange really struggling through the S section. He's struggling for understeer. He's definitely losing front end grip, and that's allowing Kilo to open up the gap slightly, so it's back up to 1.3 seconds. Oh, Kilo's missed his braking point and actually puts it in a wall. He has lost his front wing.
This might bring Notorious.
It could promote Notorious and Mike, possibly Nitro as well.
Oh my god. No, go on, Nitro.
So Nitro senses that 7th place is on offer.
Come on! You can do it! Here we go.
DRS deactivated due to wet weather conditions, so he's going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Slipstream and dive bomb.
Banzai! Here we go, come on. No. No, he might hold on.
So the Toro Rosso keeping the sister car Red Bull at bay at the moment. The gap down to 0.7 of a second. And Kilo, although I don't think he lost all of his front wing, some of it's still there, so I think he's opted not to pit, and he's just going to try and hold off Notorious. He's going to catch him soon. Notorious is only 3.8 seconds behind, but Mike's 3.7 is behind him as well. So Kilo, he is trying to get to the end of the race, but he could lose 2 places.
Yeah, we're just seeing how Nitro catching up to Mike at the minute. Pushing through the S's.
So both drivers negotiating that section very successfully. just trying to manage the conditions as best they can.
Yeah, definitely. We've got about 4 or 5 laps there.
Gap at the front down to 16.1 seconds. Oh, that Red Bull sliding through the final few corners. That'll lose traction and overall speed going down the home straight. But Mike will certainly be used to this from previous races in F2, holding on or holding off pressure coming to the end of the race. So Mike will be utilising that knowledge and experience, hoping to hold off Nitro at the end of the Mexican Grand Prix.
Definitely there. But Notorious is closing in on Kilo. 56 respectively. So we'll see how that battle goes on. Oh! Kyle? Sorry, Kilo. It's not Jeremy Kyle, but this oh my god, Notorious! Oh my god, don't do this. No, don't. Oh my god!
Oh, Kilo runs well wide off track, but I think he's he's conceded the place. He knows he doesn't have the downforce. As Cloudy Balloons receives another 3-second penalty, and Notorious went slightly off track as well there, just carrying too much pace through the corner.
But Kilo's costing it.
And Mike
as well, Mike.
And Michael Bond the hunt as well as Nitro will. So Nitro's actually only 1.5 seconds behind us. 1.3 now.
Here we go.
Mike is sensing. Oh, Mike! He's brought.
Mike!
Big mistake from Mike. I think he was just too eager to go onto the power, and he slid right into the barrier and lost front left tyre. He'll be absolutely gutted.
Livid.
Well, yeah, and Sargent commenting, "Oh, Mike, I won't believe it." I think he'll be doing the Lewis Hamilton wheel throw.
Yeah. Rick said, "Oh no, Mikey."
Mike won't. I wouldn't be able to believe that. So close.
That's just.
But fair play to Kilo with a minimal front wing. Is certainly still holding on to 6th.
Do you reckon Nitro will get Kilo?
I think so. I mean, I'm looking at Nitro and he's close right up beside Kilo.
Yeah,
I certainly think the better front end grip, made that a bit easier for Nitro.
Yeah.
But fair play to Kilo, he wasn't going to give it up, and he certainly wasn't going to make it easy. And I don't know if he'll lose 7th. The gap's 13.6 seconds. He just has to hold it together, and he can hold on to 7th after, unfortunately, losing his front wing earlier on.
We could have had a 4-way battle there.
Well, Narayan actually making a mighty comeback, the gap down to 14.7 seconds. So although Narayan certainly won't take first, it's certainly been an impressive comeback to actually get that gap down to 14.5.
Yeah. Just had another comment from Rick. He said, "You were doing a great job, Malcolm Craig. Thanks for the stream and the comment." Oh, no, it was Rick. We'll try our best. That's all we can do. But that's it. But it's just a team effort. That's it.
So it looks as if there's a fair gap between all the drivers at the moment. Certainly conditions playing into that as well as strategies. Giuseppe a 13.9 second gap over Narayan in second, with Core Tactics 32 seconds behind. The gap now 33.8 seconds. Delange in fourth, 6.3 seconds behind. Notorious in fifth. Nitro in sixth. Kilo with a damaged front wing and doing well to hold on to seventh. GFM UFC 10 seconds behind in eighth. So Spud in 9th, Fast Going in 10th, and Cloudy Balloons currently in 11th.
If you're wondering, guys, about the points situation, it's 12 points for win, 10 for second, 8 for third, 7, and then all the way one increment down to 1 point for 10th. So at the minute, this is good news for Delange because he'll be 9. Oh, fast goal!
Fast Going loses it on the final corner. Disaster. Just about to begin the final lap of the race and puts it in the wall, the same place as Mike. Disaster.
Jesus Christ. To be fair, that is a dodgy corner.
Yeah, you certainly need to be patient going into that. It's so easy just to lose it and just put it in the wall. As Giuseppe is on the final lap of the race, 13.3 seconds ahead. He's certainly going to bring home the victory. He's controlled the race from start to finish. And again, my prediction was right. Giuseppe to take quali and the race. So yay! I think I actually said Narayan for second as well. Or did I say third? I don't know.
I can't remember.
No, I did. I said second.
Will you stop predicting this?
I can't remember. I should have went to Sky Bet.
Go to Sky Bet. That'll do it.
But fantastic comeback from the Ryan to get the gap down to 13.3 seconds when it was actually 20 seconds. So as Giuseppe takes the win of the Mexican Grand Prix,
mate.
Congratulations. Narayan just came around the final corner and takes second. So congratulations to Narayan, and Core Tactics just has to bring it home safely. He's got a 7.2 second gap to Delange, and he will secure the final podium place.
That was intense.
It was certainly very exciting in the middle of the race. There was a lot to go on. Hopefully we managed to catch most of it.
One of Williams' cars does a spin. Oh, it was Cloudy Balloons. Okay.
Well, it looks as if GFM UFC might get the jumping Kilo at the end as Kilo goes wide. GFM UFC just moves by him. Kilo certainly struggling with the loss of front end grip. He has done well to actually score any points, to be honest with you, in these brutal conditions as Sargent described. Certainly very treacherous conditions and challenging conditions, much like we saw last night in the No Assist League. I think that was a Williams controlled by the AI, taking a spin, going through the stadium section, so getting in those donuts a little bit early. As Kilo comes round the final corner, he'll be relieved to see the end of this race and finishing in 8th. With the Toro Rosso Spud coming round as well, pick up 2 points. I think Cloudy Balloons is just doing some donuts for some reason.
Yeah. But fair play to Giuseppe. He did a fantastic job tonight. So
yeah, certainly controlled the race from start to finish. Nobody could really get near him, to be honest with you. He just controlled it with the strategy, controlled it with the pace, and certainly utilised the Ferrari power as best as he could.
Yeah, definitely. So just wait and see what's going on now. But yeah, it was an intense race.
But I certainly think with tonight's results, I think Delange can rest easy for Singapore. I think he's got one hand on the trophy already.
He probably has. But he was unlucky with some of the cars. especially on the last corner as well. To be fair.
Yeah, certainly fast going. And Mike will be ruining their rotten luck going into the wall in the final corner. Yeah, it'll be certainly points lost for both drivers. So as we get to the final results, we receive Giuseppe as the race winner with Narayan in second. Cod Tactics takes the final podium place. Delange takes fourth, with Nitro and the Red Bull in fifth. Notorious takes sixth. GFM UFC in seventh. Kilo in eighth. Sir Spud in ninth. Clouded Balloons rounds up the points in 10th. With Fast Going losing out after putting it in the wall in 11th as Mike. And Miles as well, who'd retired, I believe, at the end of turn 1 and 13th. And also the final driver on 14th was Saab.
Yes.
So I'm wondering what your highlights of the race were tonight, Malk.
First corner battle going on, especially with a few midfields going on. But I think there were some shocks, as in they hit the wall on the last corner, especially with Mike. That's kind of hampered his championship now. So, yeah. I think if I remembered it right, 76, Delange, 67, Spud. Yeah. Because of Mike making that little mistake, Mike has actually lost out of the title now.
Yeah, certainly my highlight was the wheel-to-wheel battles that we saw going through Sector 2. We'd seen some really good cutbacks as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the changing conditions gave us quite a spectacular race, and you know, my favourite part was certainly the middle section when we struggled to keep up with any of it. But a fantastic race from the performance guys. But it does look as if Delange has got one hand on the Performance League trophy.
He has indeed.
So we move on to the final race of the season next week, Singapore. Certainly another track that can throw up some changeable conditions, and it could be a very challenging track for both driver and us as commentators keeping up with it as well.
We try our hardest.
Yep, so we hope that you join us next week for round 12, the finale of the Invictus season in Singapore. Thanks to all that commented and joined us for tonight's race, and we hope to see you next week.
Cheers for that, guys. See you later.